Hello everyone, welcome back to Steam Code. In this video we're going to be going over D3.js, some of the basics such as element manipulation and data binding. And so before we begin, let's first explain what D3.js is. So D3.js is a JavaScript library for manipulating documents based on data. And D3 helps bring that data to life using HTML, SVG, and CSS. And so basically the crux of how D3 works is it allows you to bind arbitrary data to a document object model and then apply data-driven transformations to that document. And so let's demonstrate that right now. So first, look at our index.html file. Here we just have specified the title. We have a link to a style sheet. Here we have our header with an h1 tag. And then here's the D3 CDN. This just allows me to use this JavaScript library, and you can access this CDN in the description. The reason why CDNs are important is they allow a programmer to access libraries without having to actually download files to their computer. And then lastly, we have our link to the app.js file that we're going to be using. So in order to start using D3.js, let's hop into our app.js file. So there are two ways you can select elements with D3. The first way is D3.select, and this selects the first occurrence of the element specified, and then D3.select all. And this selects all of the elements with the tag specified. So if we were to say, for example, D3.select p, this would select this would select the first occurrence of an element with the p tag. If we were to say D3.select all h1, then it would select all of the elements with the h1 tag. So let's demonstrate real quick how you can use this select to manipulate an element. So if we say D3.select h1, now this is selecting the first occurrence of that h1 tag, and we only have one, so that's the first header h1. And then we say dot style. Then we can change that style color to blue. So if we save this, let me reload. As you can see, the color is now blue. If we change this to green, as you can see, the color is now changed to green. You can do this with any of the CSS styles that you're familiar with. You can, and so that's just a simple overview how you can select and change elements with D3. So now let's go over how you can actually use data to manipulate the document. So here I already have some code already made. So here we have a data set. This is just a simple array, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have a selection of the body tag. So it selects this entire body. And with D3, you're able to stack methods. So you're able to say select body, then dot select all p, and all these you see here. So once we select the body, now we're selecting everything with the p tag, and as you can see, there's nothing with the p tag, so that selects nothing. And then we have this here data set. So what this does is it adds this data set to the selection, but it's not completely added yet until we use this enter function. So once we use this enter function, then everything under it happens with each element within the data set. So for each element within this data set, it's appending p, and then it's using this text function to return d. So before we do that function thing, let's just create a simple text. So we can say, hello, we're using D3, and then we save that. if we reload, as you can see, 5 times it's appeared, hello, we're using D3. Because we've entered that data into the body, into our selection, and then for each element within that data set, we've appended a paragraph tag, and then we've changed the text of that paragraph to hello, we're using D3. So now let's go back to what we had before. This function first has passed a parameter, and this parameter D is just the data set or the element of the data set that we're currently on. And then this return D will just return that element as the text. So if we save this, then hop back into our file and reload, as you can see, each element of that data set has been returned from this function. So when it used the first element of the data set, which is 1, then the text of that P tag, that P element, has changed to 1. Same thing for 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so this is very powerful because you're able to use this within bar charts, pie charts. You're able to use this within numerous different things within your HTML documents that allow you to manipulate the pages in ways that you weren't really able to before. So this is just a pretty brief overview of how you can get started with D3, get started with this data binding and element binding. And if you'd like to see more videos, please leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, please leave comments down below as well. This has been Steam Code. Check out our GitHub, check out our Patreon. We have some pretty cool stuff in both places, and I will see you next time.